Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, August 22nd. Over the next couple of days, we will have drier air moving into the western half and northern areas of the Great Basin. However, today we do have an upper level wave that will be likely producing some drier lightning across central Idaho. These thunderstorms will be faster moving than what we've seen in recent days and also be producing gusty outflow winds and minimal rainfall. Some of these areas have seen recent precipitation or higher humidity, but some areas have also been on the drier side. So again, there's the risk for new starts and also gusty outflow winds affecting existing incidents. Otherwise, wetter thunderstorms will continue over the eastern side of the Great Basin. By Tuesday, that drier air pushes eastward with drier conditions in Idaho, and even over parts of Utah, we will see a decrease in lightning. However, yet another return of monsoon moisture will increase lightning in central areas of the Great Basin by Wednesday, with a few isolated strikes up towards Idaho. Over the last 24 hours, precipitation has been associated with the thunderstorms, mostly over eastern Idaho into Wyoming, and also over southern areas of the Great Basin that saw areas of wetting rains. Otherwise, any lightning in the central Idaho mountains was definitely on the drier side as that lightning moved off to the east. Here's a combination of our 24-hour precip on the left and also the 72-hour precip on the right, showing where we've seen that rainfall over the last few days across Idaho. So again, most of that areas of wetting rains have been located over eastern Idaho, but in central Idaho, again, a little bit more spotty. Some areas did receive some low-end wetting rains, but other areas, especially of the Salmon Chalice, have remained on the dry side or received very minimal amounts of precipitation. The Great Basin fire activity is shown here. We had light initial attack yesterday with 12 new starts for 20 acres, but still growth on our large fires in Idaho. Over the last 7 days, precipitation has been focused over the southern half of the Great Basin, which remains above normal in many areas that have seen that precipitation. Some drier areas over the last 7 days have been parts of central Nevada, also into western Nevada, and then obviously up into Idaho. Currently, our ERCs have declined in central Idaho, but in parts of the Salmon Chalice has only dropped to about near normal, which is typically our peak of fire danger for the year. Other areas in the Payette or parts of the Boise or northern Sawtooth have dropped a little bit more, but again, we do expect those conditions to rebound here coming forward. Over northwest Nevada, ERCs took a large dip with moisture, but have since been gradually ticking upwards. 100-hour fuel moisture is not quite at our lowest critical with the moisture that's moved through over the last few days, but it's still in the 6 to 10% range over much of Idaho into northern and western Nevada. The satellite loop from this morning shows the ridge dominating much of the Great Basin, but that upper level trough is now moving through the Pacific Northwest and generating thunderstorms already this morning over eastern Oregon. As this wave continues to move north and east, we will push those lightning activity into central Idaho. So again, expecting that faster moving, drier lightning today up in central Idaho. Looking at the weather pattern for this afternoon, you can see that moisture is pushed east in the Great Basin, so we will start to see a little bit of a decrease in lightning coverage, especially across the western half of the Great Basin. And that moisture up in central Idaho will be lifting north and east as drier air pushes in behind that wave. So again, high risk today for dry lightning in central Idaho. The main threats will be lightning with new starts and gusty outflow winds affecting both existing incidents and any new incidents. Here's the model depiction of the lightning for this afternoon. So again, you can see that lightning in central Idaho and also continuing down into Utah and far southern and eastern Nevada up into Wyoming. Wind gusts may be a little bit breezier today over parts of southern Idaho with westerly winds, but most gusts in the 20s, and then some breezy winds into Nevada and Utah as well. Relative humidity drops into the single digits today in western and northern Nevada and even into southwest Idaho in the low teens. We will continue one more day of seeing relative humidity above about 18 or 20% in the central Idaho mountains. However, again, we are expecting that drier lightning. As we move into Tuesday, the drier air pushes across the Great Basin. This will probably be the day of lowest lightning activity region-wide for the week, and certainly drier conditions up into Idaho. Our significant fire potential returns to the low to moderate range. Again, we will see those conditions drying out and fire danger will continue to increase this week. Thunderstorms on Tuesday, again, very spotty thunderstorms over eastern Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah, but certainly less coverage than what we've been seeing. And wind gusts, we'll see generally a westerly, breezy winds over parts of Idaho. Again, those gusts will remain in the upper teens to low 20s, but still be enough to dry out fuels a little bit faster up there and also affect ongoing incidents. Relative humidity drops again into the single digits over much of Nevada or low teens, and up into Idaho, those conditions will be dropping as well. We'll see some relative humidities below 20% even in the central Idaho mountains. By Wednesday, the next push of the monsoon already starts over central areas of the Great Basin, so lightning activity will be increasing across Utah into southern and eastern Nevada. Could even see a few isolated strikes up towards Idaho, but still on the drier side up there. The model depiction of the thunderstorms again shows that return of moisture to central and eastern areas and up into central Idaho, which is obviously the most critical side of the Great Basin. Could see a few isolated thunderstorms, especially in the Salmon Chalice or over towards the northern Sawtooth. Winds on Wednesday will be somewhat lighter across Idaho, but breezy over western and northern Nevada, especially with those zephyr winds across western Nevada. Could see those gusts above 30 miles per hour, but fuels are certainly still drying out over these areas. Relative humidity remains in the single digits to teens over the western half of Nevada, a little bit higher along the Utah border where that moisture push will occur on Wednesday, and then remains in the teens or low 20s over much of Idaho. Forecast amounts of precipitation fairly light across the area with respect to what we've been seeing, and up into central Idaho could see a few spits of rain with this moisture moving through today, but again, it's mostly on the drier side and faster moving, so that will limit any rainfall amounts. As we move into Thursday, that moisture continues over southern and eastern areas of the Great Basin, with possibly still a few isolated storms in Idaho, but still, again, on the drier side with that deeper moisture remaining south. So we will see continued low to moderate fire potential over western and northern areas. As we go into Friday and the weekend, similar conditions but drier up in Idaho. The main change will be on Saturday. We have another area of low pressure moving into the Pacific Northwest, so this could bring another return of thunderstorms to central Idaho. Right now, these are looking like they will have a little bit of moisture with them, but we'll keep an eye on that. Any shift in the orientation of this low could be a return of another critical dry lightning pattern for Idaho. So certainly we'll be watching that closer as we get to Saturday. And then by Sunday, that wave quickly moves through, and we're likely going to see a much drier pattern for probably the entire Great Basin. Could see several days of dry weather region-wide. 7-day total amounts of precipitation. Obviously, some new additions to precipitation with that monsoon push in the south, and then only light amounts of rainfall for Idaho, but we'll continue to watch that wave on Saturday. The 8 to 14-day outlook from August 29th through September 4th shows warmer and drier conditions for really the western and northern half of the Great Basin, pushing much of that monsoon moisture possibly off to the east. So again, we are looking at some potential longer periods of drier conditions going into early September. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.